Hello friends, I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Micro Monday. Micro Monday, that's what today is. Today's Micro Monday. We are going to be playing around with the Brain3D solder desk V1.0 today and using it to get some more work done on the AOS 3.5 build to get that thing up in the air as soon as we can here. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Hang with me one second. And we got a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. There we go. Welcome. Greetings, cretins. Hockey Rounds was forced. Troy Prelog was next. Frank Nicholas, Northern Tier. Gusto, Freelojo, McMucus, CiottiFPV. Northern Tier. Douglas Otwell. Bo Weber. Justin the Guy. Stavel. Ramdonko. CMYK again. Off Axis. Bobby Bags. Borked. Brandon Woodford, Travis H., Matthew Karam, Stavel again, off axis again. Sunset Park, what's up, everybody? If I missed you, sucks to be you. Ah! If I missed you, I'll get you next time, for sure. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange like this. You don't have to put an @ but you can if you'd like. You can do that with each other too. If you want to get somebody's attention in chat, type their name, spell it correctly, put the spaces in the wrong spots, put the spaces in the right spots, and you'll be good to go. Cool. This is also a Q&A live stream, as they all are. So fill the chat with any questions that you've got, and we'll talk about them. If you see somebody that forgot to tag me, that's asking a good question, whether or not he's asking me or not. Yeah, if you see a good question in chat, copy it, paste it, give the person credit, and yeah, let's talk about it. Let's dive in. All right, so what's happening here? The Medicine Man Cometh Fund is my quest to get health insurance at some point here this year. So if you'd like to donate to that, you can do either a super chat, which YouTube will take 30% of, or a PayPal over on CiottiFPV.com. That is my little Linktree website, and it's super straightforward. Here's my streaming schedule. Here is a link to my Patreon. That's where you get the most benefits. There's a whole bunch of tech articles on the Patreon page that you're going to get access to. There's even going to be a sound pack coming to Patreon for your transmitter with all insanity from these live streams. So that'll be that's a huge perk. Gigantic thank you to Quadbod for doing that. Quadbod and Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper do an awful lot for this community. So when you see them in chat, give them a little pat on the back. I wish that either one of them had something that I could like spam and raid and tell you guys to go follow. But they're in it for the love of this community, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, give those two guys a shout out. They're handling the timestamps for these live streams, and then Quadbod dove into this amazing sound pack project that he's been working on for quite some time, which is, I don't know, I find it to be absolutely hysterical. Maybe it's just me though. I'm biased. Over on Etsy, you can buy some. So the other perks to Patreon, if you join the $5 and up tiers, you'll get set up for giveaways. It's Monday, July 24th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 31st, 30 days, September, April, June, and November, all the rest of 31. So not next Monday, or is it? Is next Monday the first Monday of the month? I don't necessarily want to do it next Monday, though. Okay, good. Yeah, next Monday is still the 31st. So that is completely fine. Littleton. August 4th. August 4th. Is the Littleton race really on August 4th? Let's see. Am I not going to be here for that? American Criterium Cup, and then here's the calendar. When's the Littleton race? Littleton race is on August 5th. Okay. Well, hell. So... No, we'll be good. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll be back for Monday. So yeah, Monday the 6th of August, we will be doing... That'll be the first Monday of the month, and we will be doing our... What's the word? Giveaways that night. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. And you also get access by joining the Patreon to 2 different Facebook groups, one for selling stuff to a trusted group of folks, and the other one for hanging out with these beautiful people in chat over here. You're going to get access to a YouTube playlist and a Patreon-specific playlists with sketchy flying, random edits that aren't done, Patreon-only live streams that we've done, all kinds of really good stuff for as little as $3 a month. But for $5 a month or more, you can get in on a bunch of giveaways. So if you're on the $3 tier, you kind of might as well go up by $2, and then you might win. And if you win, it's going to be like $40, $50, $60 worth of stuff. So it's going to pay for that extra couple of bucks for many, many months. So yeah, if you're on the $3 tier, bump it up because you might win, and then you'll make money on the deal. There's a $10 tier if you want to win 3-inch micro brushless and or Cinewhoop stuff. And then there's a $20 a month tier for 5-inch parts. This way, if you only fly 5-inch, you can only enter to win 5-inch stuff. If you only fly Cinewhoops, you can only enter to win Cinewhoop stuff. So yeah, join my Patreon. It's the reason that I can continue to do this full time. Over on Etsy, I've got some really fun stickers and some random hardware that might help you out with your next build, including these excellent little 3D printed USB covers to keep mud out of the USB port on your flight controller. Over on Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me, take advantage of the 7+ years of experience that I've got. We can get you flying better, building better, tuning better. Or if you just have your own kind of set of questions that you want to ask or curriculum or whatever, we can go through that. That's, flight instruction, tuning, and build planning are 3 of the things that, in my opinion, I'm the best at. But yeah, Fiverr is, you're paying for one-on-one time with me in order to not have to scour the internet for the answers to all of your questions. Or in some cases, the answers that really aren't out there. There's a decent amount of stuff that I kind of know that not many other people do, if any. So yeah, that's what that's all about. And then Teespring for some fun apparel. I've got affiliate links to all of these websites. If you replace your bookmarks or your URL bar suggestions with my affiliate links, you won't even have to think about it. Every time you type "we bleed" into your URL bar, it'll automatically send you to my affiliate link. So yeah, you have to hit affiliate links over and over and over again. When you check out, it wipes the affiliate link out. So yeah, I have affiliate links to We Bleed FPV, Newbie Drone FPV Cycle, Amazon, Get FPV, Oh My God, HD Zero, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, and AliExpress. So yeah, support the people. If you don't use my affiliate links, that's fine. Use somebody's affiliate links though, because those of us that create content are. It's a tough job. It's a tough gig, and it's a struggle for us to figure out how to monetize it. And affiliate links are like the easiest, cheapest, I mean, hell, they're kind of free way for us to make something back for, yeah, referring you, basically encouraging you to go to a website and buy shit. So do it, yo, or I'll starve to death and die. In the live chat here, is that what it's called? Live chat? In the chat here, you can type CiottiFPV and ask me questions. It'll light up an orange like this. CMYK says, yo, what's up, Gangely Gang and CiottiFPV? And he dropped the .com link. Thank you, dude. Just the guy says, evening, CiottiFPV and Gang. Stavel says, what's up, CiottiFPV and Gangly Gang. Bo Weber says, what's up, Ciotti and everyone. Bobby Bags says, yo, what up? Brandon Woodford says, what's up? Travis H says, evening. Matthew Karam says, just made my second 65 Ultimate Freestyle Whoop, this time with my own custom dyed Meteor 65 frame. That's pretty cool. And 32,000 kV motors. Would love to send you a spare frame. Have you dyed a bunch of them, Matthew? If you've dyed one red, that would be super cool. I usually run frames to match the Meteor 65 frames to match the canopies. So if I'm using a smoke crotch gray Mobula 6 canopy, I'll put a black frame on it. If I'm using the clear Mobula 6 canopy, which, come to think of, I tried to order it from Tiny Whoop, but it ended up being out of stock. Let's see if it's back in. Balls. It's not back in stock yet. Let's see if anybody else has it. I know it's on Banggood, but I would like to get it sometime this year. Come on, be there. Be at Get FPV. Be that. Nope. Damn. Come on. Help a brother out. Exist. Exist. Nope. Doesn't exist. Anybody else have it? Right. That's not it. Oh, we bleed. Oh, we bleed got it. I feel like I knew that. Hey, Weebleed's got him. All right, cool. So I'm going to be doing a Weebleed order. Because I'm afraid that these are going to go away. I'm going to get a bunch of these. I'm going to get like 5 of the damn things. So yeah. Yeah, I usually match stuff up like that, but not always. Sometimes, but not always. And I already have, well, I guess I cut up the purple. Tiny Whoop spent Jesse from Tiny Whoop spent a bunch of time figuring out how to get the purple dye, how to dye the meteor frames in a purple that looked good. He said he had a really hard time, and this is the end result here. And like a savage, I cut the damn thing up and put it onto a fractal build. So at some point, I will order another one of these purple Meteor 65 frames. But I usually run the frames in either clear or black. Like I said, to match the frame, or to match, I run black or clear frames to match the black or clear canopies. I also do the black or clear frame thing, though, because it's the least obvious frame color. Like, as much as I like the quad to look cool when I'm not flying it, when I am flying it, I can't really see it. And I would rather have, if there's going to be ducts in view on a frame with a Mobula canopy, I would rather the ducts that are in view be clearish or black, because those are just the most hidden sort of colors. So yeah, it would be neat to have a Meteor 65 frame in like blood red, but to be super honest, I'll typically stick with black or clear. But I appreciate that, man. That's very cool. And if you ever do red, let me know. And or if you're interested in dyeing one of these canopies, I'll send you 1 or 2 of these clear canopies, because then the carpet will match the drapes, and that's important apparently. Matthew says so much faster the second time around. With the dyeing, I'm assuming. Yeah, ain't that the truth with everything? Off Axis says only Tony Hawk and CiottiFPV can be called the GOAT. JK. Stavel says my Mobula 6 loses VTX signal about 5 feet away. Is it my antenna or is the VTX effed? Check to make sure it's not in pit mode first. I've never heard of the Mobulas having any problems with that, but you never know. I mean, anything's possible. Hey, I just realized I've got some Tiny Whoop batteries that are still charged, I think. And that's kind of cool because I want to show you guys a deep and dark VTX secret / problem / you'll see what I mean. It's buried in the OSD, actually. And it doesn't happen often. I've never heard of it happening with a Tiny Whoop. It does happen, though, with certain Rush Tank VTXs. And I don't know if I've ever pulled the OSD up on the live stream and specifically, like, shown you beautiful bastards where it is and how to fix it. We've talked about it all the time. You go into the VTX menu in the OSD and you go to the second page of the VTX menu, and there's a little setting that either says free or race, and you just flip that. But let's do it. Like, let's go in there real time, and I'll show you exactly where that is, and then maybe somehow Stavel changed that setting, and perhaps that's the problem that he's having. What the hell happened to this battery? This battery is like incredibly... Don't try this at home, kids. This battery is super bashed in on the bottom here. This is a terrible idea. It's only at 3.9 volts though. If you guys could only see what I'm doing right now. A little bit better. Put it in the vise later. Really take care of it. Yeah, let's do that. Let me show you guys the magical mystery tour. That is the super secret, complete pain in the ass thing that can get changed on a VTX to lock it into pit mode. And like the thing is, like it locks it into pit mode, and then it like stays there in pit mode. And in your VTX table, it doesn't look like it's in pit mode. It's really weird. It's a really weird function that's kind of buried in the menus that I don't know. I feel like shouldn't exist, but it's something that a bunch of folks have kind of run into and struggled with. So let's dive in and figure it out. And hopefully Apache Smoke can make a little time code for this that is searchable. All the time codes are searchable, I should say. But yeah, if he makes a time code for this, it'll then be searchable on my channel. So if you search for something like pit mode, I don't know what he's going to call this, but hopefully he'll call it something like pit mode. And then, yeah, you can just search for pit mode on my channel, and it'll find this little thing here, and then you'll profit. Right? Is that how it works? That's how the internet works, right? Okay. I might as well fly a battery too, right? Let's rail a battery around the room. So, here's what you do. First, I just want to get to know you. First, you feed your quad power. Hey, Stavel, change your antenna for sure. That is the easiest and most probable cause of video issues. The fact that it's good, it's dying 5 feet away is not a great sign, but it could still totally be the antenna. So swap the antenna out for a different one. See if it's any better. Hey. All right, so here it is, right? You go into your OSD menu. So in order to get into your OSD menu, I'll give you the full McGillicuddy. In order to go into your OSD menu, you're going to take the left thumbstick at the same time. The left thumbstick is going to go left. The right thumbstick is going to go forward. You do it at the same time. All right, so this is what you see now, just the regular OSD. And then when I go like this, like that, you're now in the OSD. There you go. So in profile, that's where most of the stuff is, but the VTX is in features. So you go to features, and then you go to VTX, and to go forwards and backwards, to go forwards in the menus, you right stick to the right. To go backwards in the menus, you go left stick to the left. All right. And so we're gonna go to features here. and then the right stick up and down makes it go up and down. So right stick to the right features, go down, right stick to the right VTX, go down, and it's in here, config. Go into config, and the OP model should be free. You don't want it to be race. You want the OP model to be free. And that's it. And then you can go back, and here's a little trick that I bet some of you didn't know. You can take the left stick and go to the right, and watch what happens. It gets you to the save menu. So right stick to the right, no matter where you are, puts you into save and exit. And then you can do save and exit and get out of the menu real quick. That way you don't have to navigate all the way back, you know? So yeah, try that. Make sure your VTX table's good. Make sure your quad's bouncing. They like to be bouncing. Oh yeah! Bounce, you little bastard! Oh god! So, I have bad news for those of you that like the way the old school RunCam Nano 3 looks. I broke the one a couple weeks ago. No, a couple months, a month or two ago at Rampage. In Helen, I broke the other one here. So this is the OG RunCam Nano 3. And the lens is now broken. There's like a big mark in the lens. It like cracked on the inside. Oh, fart. So that's why this looks like hell. That's why when I point towards anything light, it's all blown out and ugly and shit. So this OG RunCam Nano 3 is going to need to get retired and replaced with a current gen Nano 3. Oh shit! Let's get it on, yo. Oh, I think I went through it. I did it that time. I did that time too, holy shit. I really like the... I gotta be honest, man, this is what you should do. If you buy the newbie drone gates, you should do this. This is the proper setup. Put the little, get the little cable clips, the little rubber plastic cable clips from Amazon. Put them on your ceiling, and then you hang 3 of them, and then you just get Velcro for the corners here. Weebly makes some really cool little Velcro patches that I've used. Oh god! Oh, fart. And then, yeah, on the corners here, in the middle here, you do a little 3-way. You use 3 pieces of Velcro. You see it there? See it? Right in front of the, on the bottom there. This is, okay. This is hands down the best way to set up your newbie drone gates, because you can do that kind of stuff. You can do this kind of stuff. Oh, fart. You can just crash into them. It's great. You can do this stuff, and this stuff, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can go through it like that. It's really nice. It's. I think it's the best way to set those 5 newbie drone gates up, if I do say so myself. Okay, let me jump back into chat here and see what's going on, and then we'll do another battery. See if we can get a little bit warmed up. That wasn't terrible. I'm getting a little loose. Off access, drop in the CiottiFPV.com and Patreon link. Thank you, dude. Stavel says, before I forget, and not trying to blow up the chat, but YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. But Stavel says, not trying to blow the chat, but you still got those flow motors that I can PayPal/buy them for my BLV4. I have the Flow 1102s are spoken for, and they actually need to get shipped out. I do still have the Flow 802 27,000s though. These are available. Just message me and I'll hook you up. Andrew's in the house. AKJLRC says more Matty flips. You got it, brother. We'll fly another battery, do a bunch. CMYK says Discord. What about Discord? I've got a Discord. It's linked over on CiottiFPV.com. You're gonna love it. It's where all the cool kids hang out. Yarb says my 5-year-old has started punctuating sentences with "yo" like CiottiFPV, but she learned it from Beast Boy on Teen Titans Go. As long as she didn't learn it from me. As long as I haven't ruined the youth of America more than I have the 2 kids that live in this building. Matthew Karam says, I dyed a few. Apparently the red doesn't stick well. I remember Jesse mentioning that, actually, because I asked Jesse for red as well. Try Prelog says, Weebleed has clear frame. They do indeed. Yeah, you can get clear Meteor 65 frames. That's this one. This is the rig that needs the clear canopy. I'm dying to get the clear canopy back on this thing. It looks so silly with the smoke crotch gray canopy. CMYK FPV says, I'll be sending you one this week. What are you sending me? What are you sending? What you sending? Something good? What you sending? I always like to know what I'm being sent. Matthew Karam says, I have a half pink, half purple one, 2-tone I can send. The pink is not my deal, but shoot me a message if you can. There's got to be a way to do red. How can we do red? How can red happen? Matthew says, I'm gonna dye the canopies too now that I know Weebleed has them. That's pretty awesome. Billy Presley's in the house. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you back. CMYK says, my Rush Tank Mini Race don't play well with my HD0 plus rapid fire. That's interesting. What the hell is that about, I wonder? Metadertson says, turns out OpenVTX on that Whoop board supports... Metadertson says, turns out that OpenVTX on that Whoop board supports MSP in place of Smart Audio Tramp. Really? What the hell is that about? Oh my god. Since when? Dude, that's a night... Wow. The last thing we need is more nonsense. More VTX table nonsense. Jesus. First step, jack up your car. Stavel says, thanks, I'll give that a try after the stream. Sounds good. Metadertson says, you can do that with the Weebleed cube too, right? It's all held together with Velcro. Indeed, those little Velcro squares they come with the cube, the LED cube. Off-axis says, land and then fly in orbit around the top backwards to the fan. What fan? Fly orbit around the top backwards to the fan. I don't know what that means. Denzilla says, I bet you $10 you can't land on the moving fan upstairs. All right, we're going to go try it. I don't think it's on, though. Bobby Bag says, SP means you can change channels from your radio. That's pretty cool. MSP. MSP means you can change channels from your radio. That's pretty slick. I mean, you can just do it in the OSD. But admittedly, that is pretty slick. That is a pretty cool little thing. Let's do another battery, yo. I'm going to fly that battery that I was pliering. Or maybe I'm not, because it won't fit in the frame. Yeah, it won't fit in the frame, which is why I was pliering it. Let's put that one aside. And here we go. So, by the way, this is the true Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. This is the full donkey with the 702 32,000 kV Tiny Whoop motors. At some point here, I'm going to convert the other rig over to the Weebleed Slasher. Are they slashers? They're slashers. 32,500 kV motors. Off to a great start. Oh! Oh! Oh shit. I'm in a huck-a-lot-of-puss kind of mood right now. Oh! So you're gonna see lots of throws. Lots of off-throttle throws. Oh, God. Why me? So that was like a really rushed Matty flip. If you're carrying a lot of momentum in, you can really hammer the throttle there when you're looking up at the ceiling to kill that forward momentum. It doesn't really look all that good, and a lot of times that's exactly what'll happen, is you'll end up just flying back forwards again. But yeah, the better way to do it is to carry less momentum and just like lay the move out. So carry less momentum, throw it up. Oh, God! And so what's happening is I'm waiting a little bit too long to pick up the throttle on the Matty flip, and that's why it's not killing my forward momentum. There we go. That's better. Now. So it's kind of like, you know, we were talking on yesterday's stream about how you want to keep the thing that you're Matty flipping around on the top of the screen. And that's what I'm trying to do with the bottom of this gate. I'm trying to keep the bottom of the gate up on the top of the screen, but I keep bumping into it, and it makes the rig go banana pants. Let's try it again here. See that? See how I kept the bottom of it kind of even? This is a better spot to... And with the tiny whoops, what you want to remember is you're running very low up tilt. So Matty flips are going to look and feel different than on an outdoor freestyle rig. So you're going to have to adjust to that. There's no way to really fix that. You don't want to run a tiny whoop with 30 degrees up tilt. That's a bit much. You want like 15, maybe 20 max. Fuck! Oh, God. I just rolled it a little too much there. You can really lay it out like that. Shit! Oh, come on. Oh, God, easy. Oh, God! I'm getting a little carried away. Oh, boy. I'm getting a little stick bangy now. And I think that just hit the bottom of my chair. Which is cool, because the battery's dead. Let's do another one. Blast upstairs real quick. Let's get a little upstairs blast going. What do you say, friends? Okay. Here we go. Upstairs blast!
Telemetry recovered.
Ass Blaster 5000. Tiny whoop ripping. Alright. I added tiny whoop ripping to the title of the stream. Woo! That was satisfying as shit. Wild azalea has appeared. What are they eating? Oh, God! Oh, help me! I almost hit you in the face. Help me anyway. Yay! Thank you! Let's go right back to harassment. Ooh, that's a nice little... Oh, God! Right into the table. Oh, God. Oh, God, why? Look, I can land on the fan blades. I kind of landed on it. Let's get that big splayed out power loop going. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yes. Pull out game strong on this quad. Let's get it a little smoother. Oh my God, that was it. That was the one. And then I just bashed into the refrigerator. What you know about that, son? Oh. Maggie twerking hard? No. She might be in the shower. Or maybe she's... Oh my god, that was the fan eating my face. Alright, let's leave the family alone. Oh god, I can't see anything. Why is it so dark? What's that, upstairs? Okay, that's upstairs. That's it. I can't see shit! Oh god! There we go. And we're back. Oh! Get you some! Oh, okay, okay, okay. Come on now. Oh boy! We're going fast. Let's slow it down. No, no, no! Playing drums! Fuck! Playing drums with a quad. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Let me in here. Let me in here, yo. Stop rejecting me, drum set. Stop rejecting me. Let me play. Let me play the drums! Oh! Yes, no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're falling. Come on now. No, no. Oh god, this battery's dead. Oh, it's so dead! Yeah! I love it when that happens. There you guys go. 2 minutes and 55 seconds on the nose again. 2 batteries in a row, exactly 2:55. That right there is a powertrain that is absolutely dialed in. One more! Let's keep the fire lit, god damn it. That fan hammered me into the ground indeed. CMYK says, that's how you toss. Matthew Karam says, what color canopy do you want? Red. I want red. Oh, goodness. This setup with a completely fresh battery is something else. Oh, fart. Oh, that was a hot one until I bashed into that chair. Come on. Oh, I was trying to throw it through this double gate all the way to that dive. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, I did it! It wasn't pretty. Oh boy. That's tough. Just throw it! Oh no, alright, this is a silly game to be playing. Instead, we'll play around with some dive gap Matty flips. So we are gonna throw it through here and then into here. You're gonna hear me blip the throttle to stop the forward momentum. That's gonna get it to drop, and then I'm gonna try to back it out of the bottom cube gate. Ready? So in. Nope. In, blip, fall, crash. Here we go. In. Ah. Alright, so I gotta follow my own advice, and I gotta come in low, and then I'll throw it up through the gate to give myself more time. Throw it. And then we were in it. We were in the dive tunnel. But it just wasn't quite right. Let's try it again. Almost. That's what I'm trying to do there, but I need to wait. I need to be a little bit more patient. And again, I was impatient. I didn't let it get into the dive tunnel. All right, and on that one, I didn't have enough forward momentum, so let's get this straightened out. Ah, this is really hard, admittedly. Like, I don't I don't think I'm quite good enough at this yet to hit it, like, consistently. That was close, though. Fuck! No! Oh, boy. That was ugly. Let's try this again. I'm kind of chickening out. Damn you! It's much easier to do this without throwing it through this first hanging gate. There we go. That was the one. And then that's basically doing it the other way. That's climbing up and then throwing it backwards through that gate. Nope, battery. Yeah! 3 minutes and 1 second this time. Look at us go. Woo! Metaritson says, do you have an O3 air unit coming, or are you still collecting for one? I have one sitting right here. I did a little unboxing with it, I want to say last week. I just got to figure out what to put it in and figure out what sort of insane shenanigans I need to do with firmware. So yeah, it's coming soon. We're going to figure out what we're putting it in. Do a little O3 air unit jib jab sooner than later. Maybe it'll go in the Grinderino. That'll piss bot off. Here we go again. Let's get this clean, yo. Oh, that was weird. I kind of chickened out and threw a little bit of roll, threw a little McTwist in there. Here we go! Whoop! Ah! That was the ugliest yet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Stop it. Arm, you bastard! There we go. That should be able to come out now. Hey, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. Good to go. Never give up! Never give up! Oh my god, what am I doing? Okay. It's time to get this. Let's not fly like an idiot. Let's come up low. Throw it up. A little bit early again. Oh! So I went through the top on that one, and I came out the middle, which is pretty good. Up. Ah! Let's just do it. Let's, instead of doing it as like the world's most difficult Matty flip, let's just do it as a dive. It kind of looks better that way anyway. Oh! Let's just do it as a dive. Rejected. Just completely and utterly rejected. Stop it! Oh, fuck! Just like when I used to date. Rejected! Hard as fuck. Ah, almost. Do it as a dive. Ah, I'm being a little wussy. Let's get it. I'm being really soft on the roll, but oh my god, that was I went through the side. That was weird. There we go. It's really tough to let it fall all the way down and go at the bottom, of course, as I do it. If you can, like, really... that's twice that I've... When you really turn it over hard... it's a lot more difficult, believe it or not, than when you, like, really kind of gently let it fall. Because we've got such low up tilt, it kind of works either way. See, when I turn it over like crazy, it wants to it wants to fly itself sideways. See that? See how it like, oh boy! It's, yeah, even though I'm chopping the throttle all the way, it kind of helps to more slowly turn it over. Oh my god. Yeah, it's tough to let it fall enough and then catch it on the bottom, but it's doable. Ah! One more, I think. Nope, not one more. And that's how I discharge batteries, my friends. Those are all the batteries that that needed to be discharged, and they're now all discharged. I hope you liked it. Veritas Uza says, "Don't overthink it. If I were you, I would put the O3R unit inside of a drone." Well, shit. You know, now that you say it like that, I realize that I'll just put it inside of a rig. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Does this need to be charged? Of course it does. It's a Fat Shark battery. It always needs to be charged, even when it's freshly charged. I hope you enjoyed that. There's some a little trick tip or two. And, you know, what's happening here? Okay, so, as always, the ultimate freestyle Tiny Whoop is just an absolute animal, hurling itself towards disaster over and over and over again with reckless abandon, and coming out alive as usual. I'll put a little snow hat on him, and I'll put him back up on the shelf. These little snow hats are available from tinywhoop.com. If you don't get one, I'm gonna beat you, because come on. Enjoy your life. Put little tiny snow hats on your quads. Enjoy your life, yo. I can't think of another way that you can enjoy your life more than putting little snow hats on your quads. It's just the best. It's just the best. There is nothing better than snow hatting your little tiny whoops. Metaritskin said, we took care of that. Veritas User says, Louis Rossman, a YouTuber, said that YouTube is now making YouTubers pay for the number of views they get. Have they tried that with you? They have not tried that with me. I don't know what that means. That makes no sense. Pay for the number of views they get. That's ridiculous. I don't know. What? Metaritson says, I put mine in the Grinderino. I designed some prints for it too. I can run off a few and send them to you if you like. If I decide to go that route, I'll definitely bug you for those Metaritson. Thank you for that. Veritas, we got that. All right, cool. I think we good. Let's screw around with this awesome little Brain3D solder desk. But first, I need to measure out one of these motors in the frame. So I'm not going to use this at this exact moment, but I am going to measure one of these guys out, and then I can use the measured one for the other one. So first and foremost, let's... Shit. Well, that one's too short, but these are not too short. So we're going to use this full-length one to figure out how long everything needs to be for this frame and ESC setup. So hang with me 1 second. Let me get this figured out. We'll cut these things down. We'll strip them. We'll tin them. And then we'll see how this little solder desk works. I'm pretty excited to use it, if I'm honest. Although I think I just realized that... well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about a potential improvement to it, because it's basically set up for M3 right now, but we're going to need M2. So we're going to have to kind of figure that out. I think that I've got a set of those little standoffs maybe that are M2, maybe not though. I don't know what's gonna... I don't know what the deal is gonna be with that. CMYK says that soldering station looks very detailed and high quality. It really is. Brian from Brain is doing an incredible job on these. But I think we might already have a reason to put one of these things on this side here with M2 standoffs. But first, let's do this in order. Let's get this measured out, and then we can start farting around with it after that. So we're going to put this guy here. I think I'm going to need to... hang on. I think I'm going to need to keep these guys facing in the one direction that I don't want them to face, basically. So I think this guy is going to sit here. I believe this is what I kind of figured out. This guy's going to sit here. Let's see here. So the front of the frame is actually in this direction, so this is going to be a funky looking build. The ESC and flight controller are like very in the rear, but that's completely fine. They'll be totally fine back there. The question is, which way do I mount this? Do I mount it like this or do I mount it like that? I don't think it really matters per se. Nah, I guess it does matter because this versus this. So which plug header am I going to use becomes the question. The little 4-pronger or the little 6-pronger. So let's go on to the information superhighway and figure that out. So let's do walk snail V1 VTX and see if we can get a little, we'll put the word wiring in there. Walk snail V1 VTX wiring, and then I'm going to go to images here on Google, and bingo bango fart bag. We've got a Oscar Liang article with a wiring pinout. Or not, because this is the V2. This is the Pro V2. That's not what I want. Is it this one? Avatar Mini? Nope, that's not the one. Here it is. This is what I need. Yep. Okay, so the small plug, aha! The small plug is for USB, and then the big plug is for hooking up to the flight controller. All right, cool. That's all I needed to know. Nope, that's the wrong cam. There we go. So, okay. Small plug is going to need to get plugged in from time to time, like pulling the DVR off of it. Let's flip this guy upside down. So I think I want to put it like this. I think I'm going to put it like this so that the small plug is pointing forwards, the big plug is pointing backwards, so I can just loop it up and run it to here. So with it mounted like this, the reason that I'm speccing this out right now is so that I can figure out whether or not I can run these motor wires inside of this standoff here, or if I need to run them outside of the standoff. So I got this thing pushed down most of the way. If I were to run these guys on the inside, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. If I run them on the inside, they're going to be all up on this. Well, I guess I could get them under there. It looks like there's room for them under the VTX. Let's let me just fart around with that for a second. So let's pull this guy off of here. I'm just going to loosen these ever so slightly because they are really kind of being a pain in the ass. Come on now. Okay. So let's do this. Is this thing separating? What's happening here? feels weird. Yeah, it is. It's kind of... What's happening here? I guess the little... Oh shit, the heat shield's coming off. Okay, don't want that to happen. Let's put that back on there. Okay. Why did that happen? These are secured to that. Is it because of these? No, I guess it's just the way it is. Okay, so if I run these guys on the inside here, and they sit down nice and flat to the board, and then they go running up like that, will we have enough room for them to clear under this VTX? That is the question. Let me give you guys a better view as to what the hell is going on here. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. Can I run them under without any weird issues? And it looks like we're good. I got this thing sitting all the way down. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Cool. So I'm going to run them inside of the front standoffs, which is cool because that will give the most possible protection to these motor wires, which I do like. All right. This is not much of a heat sink. I gotta be honest here. It's just like stuck on here. There's no screws attaching this or anything like that. Yeah, no, looks like it's just stuck on. I mean, it's fine. I guess I didn't expect that. I expected it to be glued down or something like that. All right, so here we go. Here we go. We are going to figure out how long these cables need to be by lining the motor up in the motor hole here and then pulling it back a little bit so that we have a little bit of extra wire. Then we're just going to hold the LED race wire down, and then we're going to run the wires the way that they need to run. So up and around this standoff, and then there's going to be a nice little 45-degree turn, and then they're going to run down the length here into the ESC. So let's get this outer one out of the way and the red one out of the way. This one that's all the way far forward is going to link up with this first pad, so just double check it. Motor is pulled back in the hole, giving it a little bit of extra, and then that one's good to go there, and we can trim this wire. And that, my friends, is how you get these wires the exact right length. When you're dealing with the race wires, you can really like be perfect with the lengths that you put these things at, because the race wire allows you to very easily just replace the wires that go from the race wire to the ESC. So you can really like get this nice and clean and just get these the perfect length, which is incredibly satisfying. After you've done 2 of these, you can just kind of bail and just make the third one a little tiny bit longer. So we're going to do that here, and I'm going to cut this third one right where my fingernail is, and now we're good to go. Now we've got this pretty much the perfect length, and it almost always ends up looking like this, where they're just a little bit longer than one another. The red one's in the middle. So yeah, that's usually what mine end up being. So now what we can do is pull this out of here, and we'll start using the Brain3D board. But first, we're just going to get the other set of wires cut down. And what I like to do here is just put these motors like butt to butt and just use my little fingies here to even them up like this. Here, let me use the top down for this. So even them up like this, kind of hold them in your fingers so that they're nice and even, and then just pull the wires out. And what you don't want to cut them the same, you want to cut them a mirror image of each other. So because it's going on the opposite side of the quad. So we're gonna take these two wires here, and I can just kind of pull them out like this, and then there you go. And then you can just do that with the other two. And now, like, once you have this one cut, you can just sort of use that as a guide for the other ones. Hold them sort of in the same place. And then, there you go. Okay. And I always cut the other side a little too long, just because, you know, it's always easier that way. It's not easier that way, it's just measure twice, cut once kind of situation. All right, there we go. So those two are the appropriate length. This last one, I did not, well, we can do it. We can do it on here. So we're just gonna kind of hold it like that. And then again, you want to make sure you're not doing the exact same thing, because it's going on the reverse side, right? So keep that in mind. I'm just gonna line up the LED race wire and just do it like that. And the LED race wire is upside down again because I'm doing the opposite side right now. So pull this up, hold that guy, and I'm just going to cut it a little long. And then we're going to take the red one, run him down, like that. And then we got this black one, which is running around like that. All right, and that one is now good to go as well. And again, if you look at these, the three that we just did, sometimes the middle one, I might have just farted that up. Hopefully the red one is just too long, but I might need to replace this black one. I might have cut this black one a little bit too short. Whoopsie! Fart. Shitting farts. Well, or it's the exact right length and the other ones are, yeah, we might be okay. We might be all right. So now we can begin to use the Brain3D soldering station, which is much excite, as well as very wow. Let me see if I have any of these pieces of wire that are long enough. Oh yeah, this one's long enough. So if I need to replace that wire, I can just use this one. Rest of these are gonna go in the bin. Okay, good. And so this is my extra piece if I need it for that one that I kind of screwed up. Let me get this camera out of the way, and then we are going to fire up this Brain3D desk soldering station. So here's the deal, right? It comes with these excellent little spacers with threads, little nylon spacers here, which then slot into either these 20 by 20 holes, the 25 by 25, or the 30 by 30 holes. The only problem with micro builds is a lot of micro builds use M2, and so it will not link up with that. But let me see if I have any M2 spacers. I don't know. I don't know if such a thing exists. Usually with M2, the spacers are smaller. Man, I'm hungry. I'm shaky from being hungry. Yeah, so here's the problem. The M2 spacers, they're just gonna swim in there. So I don't know what the solution to this is. is the solution might be putting M2 holes in the bottom of these hex indents, and then you can just run M2 hardware up. What's another solution? Yeah, I don't know what the other solution would be. This is going to be beautiful for 5-inch builds, but for smaller builds that are using M2 hardware. So, like, for example, right, the flight controller that I'm using uses M3. So for the flight controller, we're good to go. We put these guys down here, put all 4 of them on there, and it's going to perfectly hold our little flight controller here. So we will use these at some point, but for right now with the ESC work, I think we're actually going to skip them because, yeah, the ESC is M2. So let's get this out of here for the time being, and we will knock out the ESC work, and then we'll jump over to the flight controller, and then we'll use the little brain piece, and all will be right with the world. So, okay. Well, you know what? Let's go straight to that. Let's. I want to make sure that the stream doesn't go too long. Stavel says, didn't he mention a coupon code in lieu of affiliate? I do listen to the streams. Yeah, Brain3D is going to get me a coupon code at some point here. Northern Tier says, I was going to order one. Do you have a link yet? I do not have a link yet. Denzel the Terrible says, just jam some blue goo in there to hold the M2. That's a totally functional idea. And then Godzilla says, do you have a drawer with various lengths of wire? I do not. I try to throw them away. Ramdonko tagged me but didn't say anything. Okay. All right, stand by. Let me just think about this for 1 second. I really want to do the ESC work. Let's blast through the ESC work real quick, and then we'll jump over to this, because at the moment I'm trying to figure out which flight controller I'm going to use. I have one over here that already has the receiver hooked up to it. I think I might actually use that one, but I don't know why there's this other one sitting here, especially with this hooked up to it. Was I going to put... Maybe I was going to put ELRS on this? That's not ELRS. Was that the deal? Was I going to do walk snail and express LRS? No. No, that's not what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm doing. Okay. So, I'm actually going to do this in the frame. I don't hate working on these in the frame. You know what? No, I'm not. Because this is going to get seriously in the way. And it's going to drive me insane. Although I did those first 3 with it in the frame and it wasn't bad. But those first 3 had the wire runs just going up here, which is pretty simple and straightforward. This one's going to be a little bit different because they're going to be coming from the front. So, yeah. All right, scratch that idea. Let's just do this on the silicone, and you'll get to see what that is like. And so this is the correct motor for this side. We're going to do, we already did motor 1, now we're going to do motor 2. So we're going to come in here with our fingernails and just strip a little bit of the silicone insulation off each one of these wires. By using your fingernails, you're going to ensure that you don't nick any of the inner strands of wire. So stop biting your fingernails like me, and you'll You'll be able to use them for this to do better quality work. Man, I am shaky as shit. I'm really hungry. I had a salad, but it just was not enough. I am looking forward to getting some food after this. I don't know what it'll be, but it's going to be something. Okay, so now we're going to tin these, and I'm going to do them just right here so that you guys can see. And the process of tinning is very straightforward. You're trying to get solder in between all of the individual strands of wire. So you're going to put the tip of the soldering iron on the bottom, and then you're going to push the solder down from the top. And that way you're forcing the solder in between all the little strands. So iron on the bottom, feed the solder in from the top. You don't need much, just a little bit. And there we go. All right, wires are tinned. Let's get them tacked down to the ESC. I like to separate them like this, just so that they're not all over one another. And then we're going to go left. No, we're going to go right to left, so that they're not tripping all over each other. All right, so the first one I always like to do at a 90-degree angle to really keep it out of the way. So we're going to put it there like that. Your left hand is doing all of the work with controlling the wire and putting the wire in the correct spot. Your right hand is going to come in and only apply heat. You should not be using your right hand to hold the wire in place, because you're going to have to remove the heat at some point, and then if the wire moves, all is lost. And you're going to have to rework it. And rework is what we're trying to avoid here. One of the things we're trying to avoid here. That's me just putting a little bit of flux on these. And I'm just taking a quick look at that first one. It looks pretty good. I've got my nerd goggles on, by the way. And now the second one we're going to put here at a 45-degree angle to the pad. Keep the wire runs as short as possible. And it also tucks the wire in so that if you're crashing through branches, hopefully you're not ripping your motor wires off. And here we go. Nope, I'm trying to get this as flat on the pad as I can. There we go, that's better. I know you guys can't really see that, but I just want to get it right. It's really hard to do this in a way that you can see what I'm doing and I can get a good quality solder joint. So unfortunately, I tend to favor doing the job properly rather than giving you guys the best view. Hope you don't mind. Yep, that one looks pretty good. And now here comes the last one. And same deal, 45-degree angle. Move the work to you. Don't move your hands into some weird, awkward situation. Move stuff out of the way. All right, third one for motor number 2. Hey, that one's looking good. Yeah, that one's hot. So there we go. Oh, fuck. Next one that I do, I'm going to try to do it with this view so that you can get a better picture of what the hell's going on here. All right, so, and now, yeah, this motor, the motor wires are going to go up and around that post. Why is this motor wire so short? Why are these two so long? What's happening here? This does not look right. It's sitting up there. Hold on, something's going on here. Something ain't right. I might have put the right one on the left side or something like that. Hold on. Let's see. It's going to sit in here like this. And so these guys are going to come up here like this. No, it's good. It looks kind of weird when it's not in the frame, but once it's in the frame, these guys all lay down properly. So yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. And next up, let's do motor number 3, I think. And this is a weird Speedix GS25 ESC with the battery leads in the middle of the ESC. So we're just going to kind of push those out of the way a little bit. So yeah, let's get that figured out here. And bring this in. Okay. So let's move some stuff out of the way here. And now we're going to see if I cut these too short. So let's get them stripped and tinned. And away we will go. First one. Second one. Third one. Okay. And let's get them tinned up, and I'll give you guys a eagle eye view of the tinning process here. So we're gonna go soldering iron to the bottom, add a little bit, push the solder down, next up. Okay, and the last one. Come on, there we go. Cool, they are now tinned. You'll hear me sometimes put the soldering iron into the little cradle hard. That's to knock a little bit of the solder off. Below the thing, and it looks like that. Those solder balls kind of donkey down there. It's just a nice way to clear the tip off a little bit, but not completely clear the tip all the way off. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of flux here. I'm actually going to do a whole row. Alright. Too much on there. Just get that off. That little flux syringe kind of leaks, so every time I pick it up, it's got a little bit of extra there, which is what you just saw me kind of using. All right, so the first one is going to be at a 90-degree angle. It's going to run straight back. So let's get that set here, and so I need to move this so that I can get the soldering iron tip in here. I know it's not the best view for you, but I need to be able to do this properly. And so we're going to bring this in here, put the soldering iron nice and flat to the table to get a really good contact patch. The smoke is the flux burning off. So ideally, you want to try to get in and out while there's still smoke coming off of it. Just like that. And now we're going to take the red one. We're going to try to do this little fella at a 45-degree angle, as we do. Sometimes you got to like kind of push the wires around a little bit to get them to cooperate, so to speak. And all right, I'm going to come in up over the camera. I don't love this right now, but this is the best way to give you guys a good view of what the hell's happening. And I got pretty lucky. That one sat on there perfectly. And now for the last one here, same kind of deal. Yeah, this is the one that I cut too short. I definitely cut this too short. But we'll tack it on, we'll put it in the frame and see what it looks like. All right, I got incredibly lucky on that one. It actually slipped out of the out of the tweezers, but it just happened to sit perfectly down when it popped out there. So yeah, the red one is too. Yeah, no, I have to. I could either go shorter on the red one. Well, let's see. Let's throw it in the frame and see what's what. So now we're going to put the frame back like this. And, okay. Set the ESC down in here. And when this is sitting like that, yeah, wow, okay, the red one is too long. The red one's too long. That third black one is actually the perfect length. The third black one is, they're kind of all too long. Brain3D with a $19.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. We're gonna start using the brain piece in a minute. We're just trying to knock out a little bit of this ESC work first here. How did I? Yeah, so this is the problem with cutting I cut these guys a little longer than the other ones, and it's totally biting me in the ass right now. So what I'm actually going to do is shorten both the red and the black on here. So hey, Brian. Brian is who runs Brain3D. The reason, I don't know if you were here earlier, but the reason that I'm not using your solder desk at the moment and a potential for improvement is that this and these guys are M3. But this ESC is M2. So I don't really know the solution. I don't know what the solution would be. I was kind of thinking, like, if you just put M2 holes in the bottom of these, in the bottom of all these guys, we could then just take some M2 screws and run them up the top. But yeah, for the Brain Solder Desk V1.1 or 2.0, it would be amazing to see a way of having M2 and M3 here. There's my contribution. Don E with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. Wow, Brain3D has 40 printers, 20 to 30 running at once. Jeez, that's incredible. Okay, so we're going to undo what we just did here. And we're just going to cut these guys a little bit shorter. So let's hit that one. I'll hit this one. There we go. Okay, terrific. So we're just going to cut these like the smallest little amount shorter. And then we can fire them back up. Well, it's 9:30 though. I want to use the brain piece. So let's bail on this. Let me cut these shorter to remind myself, and then we're gonna swap over. Okay, so there's one. And now here is the other. This is what I get for trying to leave these a little bit long. But that's okay. All right, cool. So that's good to go. So let's fire this up. I've been looking forward to using this for a little bit here. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're going to solder up a cable for the Walksnail VTX to the oh crap, I have this set up for M2. I have this set up for M2 as well. Farts. Does it have crossfire soldered up at the right length is a question that I've got. Brain3D says the M2 boards sit nicely on top of the threads. Oh. Of these guys? Doesn't seem that bad. Let's see. So we are 20 by 20. So let's put these 4 in here. 1, 2. Love how these things slot in here, man. This is very, very nice. Little storage spot for them. All right, cool. So, oh. Get over here. There we go. All right, cool. So now, let's just get this guy out of the way. I think I'm going to be soldering to the back here. Back bottom, kind of. And so, let's see. It'll totally balance up there. I'll be damned. Yeah, that sits up there kind of fine. I mean, I would love it to go down on the. And I mean, I guess I could take a set of these nylon standoffs and just like cone the top of the threaded part, and that would let this slide down a little bit farther. But that ain't bad. I'm just letting it sit for a second to see if it does that thing where it pops up and off. But it doesn't seem to be. It seems like it's sitting on there just fine. Cool. All right, so we've got a couple of pads here. T1, R1, 5 volt and ground. Hey, what is the what voltage does the Walk Snail VTX want? I'm assuming it wants the same as the Vista, which is going to be VBAT. And I've got a VBAT pad here. So let's do this. We are going to pick this guy up, rotate it around here, put this little fella in here, that little fella over there. Okay, let's just take these guys out, put them back in here. Okay. All right. There we go. So I'm going to face these down, because if you face your work downwards, you can use the little helping hand, and that'll be pretty cool. So there we go with that. Take your little helping hand here, bend it as close to in position as you possibly can. And now I need to find a cable that's going to fit in this VTX. All right, let's get that figured out here. So first thing I want to do is figure out on the Walk Snail VTX if it's the big JST plug or if it's the small JST plug, and it's very, very, very obvious. Okay, and this is the small plug. All right, cool. So how many pins is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins. So I need a 6-pin little plug. What are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So we've got a 6-pin. I don't think this is going to be long enough, though. This is going to be sitting in the back. So it's going to sit like this. Okay. And then this guy is going to plug in here. And then these wire runs, nah, not long enough. Okay. Try again. Guess again. That one is 8 wide. This one is 5. Nope, this one's 6. But it doesn't have the little grabby guys on the left and the right, so I'm going to skip that one. Come on, man. Where's it at? Where's the perfect little wire? I mean, I could always make one, but a lot of times there'll be one sitting in here. But what I'm running into is all of the 6 Glippy Gloppies have don't have the little tails, which really help with unplugging it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's another 8. Hey, there's a 6. There's a 6. Come on, have cables that are long enough, little fella. Have cables that are long enough. Oh, it sure does. Let's just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. There we go. There's our cable. And so let's get these guys all put back away. Okay, now I need to look that walk snail image back up. And here it is. So, looking down from the top. All right. So, we're going to take the VTX and we're going to compare it, and we're going to look down from the top. And now that big plug is there. And when that plug is there, it's pins up. And so when I hold this thing, it's pins up. Okay. So this is the right way to hold this guy. And then so we've got ground. Balls. Not ground. We've got power up top. Man, I can barely tell. Is that a 7 plug? No. No, it's a 6. But where are the skips? Where are the skips here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This almost looks like a 7. This is bad. What about this one? 6 volts. This is 25.2 volts. Okay, cool. Walk Snail Avatar HD VTX only. Okay, so this is it. So we've got voltage and then ground and then RX and then TX. All right. So I could use orange for voltage, but that is a really good recipe for screwing up. So I'm not going to do that. I have a little pile of cables here. And maybe, just maybe, I've got a red cable with an end crimped on. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm just doing that up in front of the bench here. Come on, man. Give me one. Give me one. I mean, the other thing I can do is just rob one out of another plug, which I do every so often. And that is what I'm going to do on this one. So I'm going to remove one of the red guys from this plug header. Usually you don't use the double reds anyway, so this should be totally fine. So this is, I gotta get this out of the way. This is the third one over. I need the nerd goggles for this. I cannot see clearly enough. All right, and I'm actually going to take the fourth one. So, pull it up, and then we just go in here and lift the little plastic thing as little as possible, because when you put a big crease in those plastic things, they do not like to sit back down again. There we go. That's all there is to it. And then we remove this little guy, and hopefully it's the right one. Hopefully it's the right size. I'm pretty sure that it is. So in that image, ground is VBAT is all the way up on top, and so I need to now remove the ground on this one. So let's get in here and do that. Where the hell did you come from? Get the hell out of here. All right, so we need to pull this ground one, and we're going to replace it. We're going to put it right next door, and we're going to replace it in this location with the red that we just pulled. All right, there we go. So now we're going to just move the ground one over. Which is kind of in the way. The plastic is bowed out a little bit. So let me just fix that real quick here. Because otherwise this guy ain't going to want to go in here. Let me see if I got that just enough. Even if I did have like a super top-down, like basically microscope, it would still be incredibly hard to show you guys this, because like I need to hold this stuff up, like to be able to see what the hell I'm doing. A lot of times I need to hold this up to my face. So yeah, I try to just talk you through it as best as I can, but boy oh boy is that difficult. Okay, so here goes there we go. Okay, ground pin is in. I'm just going to use these tweezers to push it the rest of the way through. There we go. Make sure it clicks. Give it a little tug. Make sure it's in there. And we're good to go. And now we're going to take our red one from a second ago. Feed that little fella in here. There we are. All right, take your tweezers. Push it the rest of the way. And then there's one that we're going to need to remove. We might as well do that while we're here. All right, there it is, all the way in. Give it a little tug. Okay. Well, shit, I'm going to have to remove two of these. Damn. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, but we've got 1, 2, 3 skip, and then we've got 5, 6. So we got to remove 5, 6, and then we're going to take one of these, probably the blue one, and we're going to put it into the 4 slot. So let's get that rolling. Again, just being as gentle as possible on the little plastic latches. Don't just go pulling harder and harder and harder on the wire. The wire has a little like kind of hook almost on it, and if you just keep pulling harder and harder, that hook is just going to dig into the plastic. You got to make sure you get the plastic up enough so that hook can kind of clear. There we go. You do have to put a little bit of force on it, but not much. I think I got that one. Nope, not quite. Come on. There we go. And there's the orange. And now we're just going to take the blue one and we're going to put it where it needs to be, which is right next to the green. And of course, when you're doing this, make sure the correct side is going upwards. Like you'll see the little latches that kind of interact with the plastic latches. Just get some magnification and just look at one of these really closely, and then it'll make total sense after that. You just got to look at it like one time, and you'll be good. All right. Give these a couple little tugs here. Okay. All right, and we're all set. So now we do kind of have to figure out how long we want these to be. Which means that I kind of need to figure out the orientation of the... it absolutely means that I need to figure out the orientation of the flight controller. So here we go. Let's dive into that real quick. All right. Put these little guys in here. And okay. So we're gonna have, this is an easy one because that goes forward. So the plug is gonna be in the rear. Okay, so this plug needs to be in the rear, which means that it's either gonna mount like this or it's gonna mount like that. And that makes everything easy because the VTX pads are on the back, so they're just gonna go across. So we're gonna mock this up here. This is gonna go forward, that's gonna go like that. Okay, perfect. So this is gonna sit in here like this, that's gonna sit in there like that. This plug is gonna be in like that. Jesus, this is gonna be tight, yo. This plug is gonna be like on top of this standoff. These standoffs are way too close. Kind of a weird design, if I'm honest. But hopefully it's not gonna hit. If it does, I don't know what I'm gonna do because there are standoffs on all four corners. Shit, I think it's hitting. Pull these wires up and see what happens here. Well, I mean, there's no gyro on it, so like, it kind of doesn't matter that it's hitting. I don't love that it's hitting, but yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Shit. Well, it's going to be completely unpluggable, which is not the end of the world. So the option is to try to spin it around. Let's try that. Come on, man. Come off of there. Okay, so if we spin it around like this. Okay, so that's better. So that's much better. Yeah, okay. So that's how it's going to get done. And then this wire is going to have to go outside and then back and around. Yeah, so this is going to be it. But then, oh man, now this is right on top. Oh, farts. I'm not going to be able to get in here to plug this in to clear the DVR out. So what the hell does that mean? That means I need to put it like this? Yeah. I need to put it like this. And now the antennas aren't going to be long enough. Well, and it looks like this MIPI cable is going to hit this standoff here. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't do it like, well, I mean, I guess technically I can do it like this, but I do not want this MIPI cable pushing up against this standoff. Shit, man. This frame is really tough to build. Paul Taylor says grind off the side of the standoff. I'd really rather not like to. I'd really rather not do that. These are M2 standoffs, so they're really weak as it is. So like realistically, this little plug has to face forward in order for there to be access to it. So we can only mount this one of two ways, like this, and then that plug fouls on this, or I could mount it like this, and then this MIPI cable fouls on that. So both situations suck. Damn. And I don't think that there are pads on this, right? There are no pads for me to solder to, which is infuriating. Because, like, what if the connector breaks? Then you're just screwed. And I don't think there's any pads up here. Well, shit. I guess I just push this connector up against this standoff and just eat it. That's kind of the only way. Yeah, that's kind of the only way. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so these little fellas here are going to run up, over, and back. So give them a little bit extra here, run them down there, grab it out here like this, give it another little bit of extra, and then chop them down. All right, so now that's good to go. I can pull. God damn it, I wish they would make these fucking holes just a tiny little bit bigger so that it's not so impossible to deal with that. Okay, so now we got the wire length set. Now we're going to use the FPV solder desk. I just dropped it and it didn't explode, so it's good quality. Let's get these guys out of here. Okay. All right. Where? There it is. Okay. So these guys are going to be coming across. So I'm going to put them away in the same orientation that they're going to be in once they're in the frame. So we're going to put this down here. And the wires are going to run across like that. One of the things I really dig, and my little contribution to this board, is these 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, which you can feed solder up through the sides. And so I'm going to show you that real quick here. So you take your little bit of solder here, and you just put a little angle right up on the tip there, just to get it to turn the corner a little bit easier. So just do a little 90-degree angle there. And then you can feed it in the side, and then you can push it right out the top here. And you can have a nice little bit of vertical solder just kind of sticking up, and then just take the other part and like go in a direction. Like, let's go upwards with it. Cool. And now you've got a little bit of extra solder here in case you need it to just pick up a little bit of extra. All right, so we are going to strip and tin these guys. We're now dealing with 30 gauge wire, which is very easy to, well, I guess we were dealing with 30 gauge. No, we weren't. We weren't. Motor wire. That was more like 24, 22 gauge or so. Okay, another one here. Even if you don't have fingernails, you should be able to strip 30 gauge with your bloody nubs. Okay, there's that one, and we're going black. There we go. Okay. So, oh, this is kind of cool. So this little solder desk has a little bit of thickness to it, so we can hang the wires off, and then I have room below them here to bring the tip of the soldering iron down to do our little bit of tinning. Let's do that real quick. One second. There we go. All right. So we're going to bring the soldering iron nice and flat to the desk here, under the wire. Bring it up into the wire, melt some solder there on the tip itself, and then push some solder in between the strands. We're going to do blue next here, just on the bottom there. Pushing from the top. Now we're going to go with red. Okay, and ground. There we go. That's all there is to it. These guys are tinned up and ready to go. So now what we can do is use the little helping hand. So we're going to get it into position. That's about right. And take a look at, well, let me take a quick look at these pads. Okay, so 1, 2, T1, and R1. All right, so red is going to be off on the right, and then black right next to it. And then, according to this diagram, the third pad next to ground is RX, which is going to go to TX, which means that I do not have to cross these over, which makes me incredibly excited. So it's going to be red, black, green, blue. And so what we can do here is take our little helping hand, run these wires up roughly where they need to be, and just get it placed perfectly in the little helping hands. And so now these wires, and you push the other ones out of the way, and just get the one exactly where you need it. It's going to sit damn near perfect on there. I'm going to push it forward just a little bit more. And so now these wires are held really, really, really nicely. I'm still going to use tweezers to get it into the exact right spot, but my God, does this make life easier. And actually, I'm going to do this the other way. I'm going to do it from left to right so that I'm not crossing over myself. So we're going to do the blue one first. So we'll pick it up with the tweezers here, and I'll give you guys an ultra close-up view. Hopefully, maybe not. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. All right, we'll do the overhead view. And here we go. So we're gonna do blue first, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of angle on this. We got our little extra bit of solder that we can just pick up like this, right? Right there, boom. And, all right, okay. So this is not quite far enough forward. Let's just cheat it a little bit. There we go. And there it is. Wire's gonna sit down nice and flat. No big deal. Awesome. Next, green. And you'll see me kind of like flicking outwards off the pad. That prevents you from getting that little Hershey Kiss shape of the solder trying to chase the heat source. Solder flows towards the heat. It's one of the really cool things about solder. So if you pull out like that, it'll just be a smoother, more round kind of joint there. And I haven't needed to pick up any extra solder yet, but if I did, I could just bloop right there and then come right on over. And there we go. And that should look really nice. Let me take a look. All right, so the ground wire, I wasn't paying quite enough attention to. You know, I'm not wearing my my magnification. That's why. I was just kind of doing that from guesswork. All right, so let's get the ground one. I just need to push it forward a little bit. Oh, perfect. There we go. Hell yeah. And now that should be, oh yeah, that's the stuff. All 4 of them nice and clean. This is really nice. This is, that's nice to have them held there and then just not have to waggle with them and have them bleeding over each other. And yeah, and look, these absolutely do work for M2. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but I mean, you could see it held on there completely fine. Very cool. Very, very cool. I wish I had more. I wish there was more that I could do on this, but that's kind of, that's all I've got. Other than that, I'm just doing the ESC, and the grommets that I have in the ESC are very small. They're tiny whoop grommets, so the M2 holes in them are like minuscule. But yeah, man, this is for building a 5-inch rig. This thing is gonna really make your life easy. It's just so nice to be able to plop the electronics down. And then when you're done, you just take these little guys out of here. You can remove this to get this out of the way. That's magnetic. And then you just take your little nylon standoffs, slot them back in here. I'm trying to do this all left-handed so that I'm not crossing over the camera. But I'm not left-handed, so it's like I have rabies right now. But you get the picture. And like pretty much everything I do is 2020, but there's 25 by 25 on here, and there's 30 by 30 on here, which is rad. And then what I really can't wait to use are these XT90, XT30, and XT60, and BT 2.0 slots. So this thing will be back to use a bunch of these guys here. But man, for a first time using it, like that already is... just a really nice piece, man. Just really well designed, and the quality is awesome. And you can get it with 2 of these little magnetic jibby jabbies, and they just kind of hang out on there. Very cool. Great work, Brain3D. Great work, Brian from Brain. This thing is awesome, and it's. I thought he was going to charge like $30-40 for it. I think it's less than $20. It's really inexpensive. So grab you one, yo. Grab it up, friends. I think I might leave it there. I'm just so incredibly hungry. I have to go get something to eat. I'm like shaking from hunger, and you know, 2 hours is a long time. So let's get caught up on chat, and then I'm gonna shut this down, and we'll do some tiny whoop things on Wednesday. What do you think of that? Tommy B says CiottiFPV always makes it look easy. It is anything but easy, but thank you for that. Oh, we're pretty much good. Mo FPV says, "What's up, y'all? What's up, CiottiFPV?" Nothing, just shutting it down. Sorry, I put 8 p.m. EST on the Patreon email that went out. The Discord notification. I apologize if you didn't see it. But not a whole lot I can do about that. I tried, I swear. So, yeah, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Here's some more walk snail, little tiny drift car, RC drift car chasing. And, yeah, have an awesome rest of your night and Tuesday. And we will reconvene on Wednesday, do some tiny whoop things. I got a bunch of stuff stacked up, tiny whoop related. So we got a bunch of work to do. We'll do it together, yo. All right, people. I love you. Be good. Let me find a little song here. That'll work. All right, people, be good. Tip your waiters. Later, friends. Where's it at? Here it is.